a world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. It's January the 1st, the year 2017. Jenny Satori always laughs at me when I say the date, 2017, and so why can't I just say 2017? Or some people say 2017, or they use the word ought instead. So anyhow, I started with the OOs because when it was 00, it didn't sound right saying 2001 to me in 2002. So I went 2002, 002. Now it's just 17. Okay. So I kicked off the year very well. I think I might have went the whole calendar year last year without sleeping in my bed, because it's so much easier to flop on my couch. And last night I made this effort. Shut my TV off, turn it all down. My poor TV was probably on every minute of the day, except for if the power went out last year also. And it didn't explode yet. But so I shut everything down and went and slept in my bed. Unbelievable. So I got the year started off right that way. So there you go. Hillary's here. Yay! And I hope everybody had a good, safe holiday season. Those of you guys that were hanging with us over the Christmas Eve and Christmas and New Year's Eve, that's we had a little bit of fun. It was good. I'm glad for your company, and it was, like I said, fun. So what's coming up this week? Tomorrow, Diana Monroe. Tuesday, Lisa Nolan Shalosky. Wednesday, Barbara DeLong. Thursday, Amy Kavanaugh. Friday, Salva Dutton. Saturday, Kimber. And from tonight, Dr. Ida Green. And we have a whole full week next week, and the week after, a whole full week, except the Wednesday is empty. I think I'll take the day off that day. We'll see. So we're booked up now. Let's just see if we start the year with a bunch of cancellations and sick people again, or how that goes. You know what I mean? I'm not inviting trouble, but we're booked up, and that's good news. So clear your calendars, people. Clear your calendars and be here. So all of you guys, I think maybe Shelby's new. Maybe Shelby's new for Hillary, and she's a little bit of everything. She's intuitive, medium, clairvoyant. She uses all the clairs, basically. She's an empath. She also has the ability of psychometry. She reads the tarot. She uses a pendulum quite expertly. She's a magnified healing master teacher, a universal life church minister, life and business coach, and she's our guest. And you can find out more about Hillary at her website at www.askhillaryblack.com, and on Facebook also Ask Hillary Black. Just Google it, for crying out loud. Google Ask Hillary Black. And so let's just go and find out how the heck Hillary's doing. How was your holidays, Hillary?
Hi, it was great. I had a good holiday.
Good.
I don't want to say it's eventful, but then at the same time too, it was just good. Saw Star Wars. I watched Star Wars.
Oh, you watched the whole start. Did they have the whole?
Well, no, actually, no, I was at a friend's house and we were watching Star Wars as we saw, and of course then we watched the Dick Clark's celebration, the New Year celebration, which we watch every year, and watched the ball go down, I guess, and they delayed it for the West Coast people as they were televising it live on the East Coast. But went and saw the new Rogue One Star Wars, so you could, I'm out myself and I'm a Star Wars geek, so.
You're kind of, first of all, it doesn't sound like your microphone is, and it's using your computer, and so it sounds like you're coming closer and further and like you're in a tunnel or something like that.
Is that better?
It was for a second.
Is it better now or no?
No.
So let me do this. I'm gonna call into the show because I tried to call in earlier, and because I didn't have your code, I couldn't call in.
Oh,
so let's do that, because then in that way we're not going to have any issues on the phone. And then I've decided I'm buying I said I was going to I found a mic that I could buy actually specifically for the radio.
Oh, good. Somebody should have got that for you for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been nice. It would have been nice. So
I'd love to win the lottery, because then I would send exactly the equipment my guests need to them as a gift, and then we would be all good to go. So I'm just gonna play. Go ahead and do that, and I'll just play.
So what's the code? What's the code? Because the code that you have up was not working.
Yeah. Well, it should be. It worked for me. 76515.
76515. No, not working. Let me try again.
What?
Hold on just a minute. I'm sorry. You were taking. You know what? I tried to call in. I apologize. You're not all ready, and look at me. And I thought I was all ready, and I apologize.
That's quite all right. Not a worry.
Talks. In order to join the show, please enter the show number.
That's funny loud.
Yeah.
Welcome. Please dial 11 to speak to the host.
There you go. You're in. Mute that, and I'm going to pick up. Now turn off your computer sound, okay? And then since I said I'm going to do this, I'm going to quickly do Jenny's little. Oh, for crying! I keep opening Skype instead of my music folder. And here.
Are you looking for a place to meet like-minded people? Perhaps you're a light worker looking for a safe place to share your thoughts and services. We've got a place for you. intuitalks.com. Join for free, post updates, blogs, create and join groups via website or radio or class package. The possibilities are endless. Join the all-spiritual, all-under-one-roof network, www.intuitalks.com.
All right, that's our lovely Jenny Satori, the owner of this fine establishment. Here's Hillary.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Oh, hallelujah. We can hear you.
Perfect.
So anyway, you said that make sure you put a solace on your movie watch. Oh, solace. Do I have to go anywhere to watch this movie, or is it like free on TV, Marie? Because I don't do movie theaters.
So what movie are we talking about? Are we talking about the Rogue One movie that I just saw? That's in theaters.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You were at a friend's or something, and you were watching Star Wars. Was it like an old Star Wars?
No, it's a new one. It's the new Star Wars that just came out.
Oh, and they had the movie like on. Or did you go to an actual movie theater to watch it?
I went to actual movie theater.
Oh my goodness. Well, good for you.
Yes.
Good. Don't tell me. Was it really good though?
It was really good. I mean, I'm not as versed in Star Wars as my sister is. She's the computer. She does IT for a living, and it was funny. My brother got her a Star Trek pajamas, and she was so excited to receive them. She's like, "I'm proud to be and I don't like the word geek, but she's like, I'm proud to be a computer geek, no problem. And she's like, you think that I'm not going to use these for Halloween? She was so excited. But she really knows the story much better than I do, although I remember being online in 1977 when the first Star Wars came out. And so it's the precursor to 3, 4, and 5, I believe. But again, there's Star Wars people that will correct me.
It's funny because, like, the last time that I went to a movie in a movie theater was when the very, very first Star Wars, like, and I don't mean like the prequel that came out after, but I mean the original Star Wars movie, when they re-released it with new digital this or that and they put it back in the theaters. That was the last time I ever saw a movie in the theater, and that's a very, 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 very long time ago. And
wow.
And so I was actually thinking recently that maybe one of these days I could go in an afternoon or something like that, you know what I mean, and just go sit in the back and when there's not a lot of people there or something like that. But it's kind of expensive to go to the movies anymore, you know. And
it is, no doubt. I remember I'll be dating myself if I tell you I remember when a movie was, I think $3.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything was okay. Hi, Holly, how are you? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and every other thing like that to all of you guys, to every single last one of you that has assembled here today. Thank you. Okay, so what about this new year? How are you feeling for this new year?
So I'm excited about this new year. I have revamped my website, so you guys are welcome to go look at it. I have a great special that I wanted to tell you guys about, and if I can put it in your chat room, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It says it's too long, but I'll go ahead and put it in the chat room. It won't actually let me put it in the chat room. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do. It's saying my message is too long. It's the message that I have that I just copied and pasted for the the abbreviated version is get a 30-minute reading for $25, completely and totally unheard of. I'm normally $90 an hour, and I've decided to do that and you know just to look at everyone. It's an opportunity as we reflect on the past year and we look forward to the 2017 new year. I wanted to extend an invitation out to everyone. It's a limited one-time offer, and everyone would get a 30-minute reading for $25 where you can gain insight and guidance for the upcoming new year. And as I said, it's regularly priced $90, so it's a $65 savings. It is a tarot reading. Of course, as Chris, you said, I blend everything in my readings, all my gifts that I have. And it's a great opportunity to gain the clarity and see what 2017 has in store for them or for that person. It offers insight in key areas of your love life, your career, your health, your spirituality, your personal development. Looks at lessons to be learned, challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, and where to focus, where you may want to focus to put your focus on for the best outcome to prepare for the new year. The offer does end January 15th, 2017. And as I said, it's limited to one per client. Additional minutes after the 30-minute reading is at regular price. The offer is extended to referrals, new clients, and gift cards. So I also have this new thing that I'm doing gift cards as well, which is really nice. The promotion must be redeemed by February 15th, 2017, as we're not redeemable for cash. And the gift card purchases at the promotional price that are not redeemed by February 15th can be applied toward the full reading price. So, you know, that's what I'm doing for the new year. I had to really think about it. I've never done it in all the 20 years that I've ever read. I've never offered anything like this ever. So
well, look at you go, Santa Claus. She's playing Santa Claus. No, she can't repeat it, Dan.
Can I repeat it? That's funny. You can go to AskHillarBlack.com. It's on the first page. And then if anybody actually wants to book, you're welcome to, there's a link called Booking Online.
You might need to get somebody to read it to you, Dan. But you can send it.
He says our lawyers require us to say it. Yeah, that's right. I put the small print in there for sure, no doubt. So that's what I'm kind of offering everyone, just to look at it. And so I've already talked to some of my current clients that I have, and what I'll do is I'll do a whole year reading for them. I'll do all 12 months. And again, as the energy continues the way I read it, that's usually the outcome. But as everyone has free will and choice. We can shift things out. No. I'm not doing 45 for an hour. Or 45 for, no. So, but I'm doing 25 for 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, any additional minutes after that will be regular price. So anyhow, and you're welcome to pass it on to friends and family. So I look at the whole entire year for you. I can do, do a 12-card spread, do January all the way till December, and then look at, some issues that are coming up. I just recently did a reading for someone, and we kind of looked at what the past year was and what the new year, as they're coming into the new year, what they want to focus on, and really all the changes that have been made, really positive changes, and the way she's growing and where she's going to. And it was really good.
Awesome. Good. Cool. So, in general, how do you feel about, so that's the business side of it. So, how do you feel about, have you had any epiphanies about the upcoming year for the world? You know what I mean? How's it going to be? Shitty end of the year last year. Shitty,
Right. I don't look at the world events. I know some psychics do. I don't. And when I do, some psychics like to go out and put on their website, here's the predictions for the whole entire new year.
There's going to be a hurricane in the East Coast, and there's going to be terrorism, and the Queen is going to die again and again and again and again and again. And, they're always so, A, negative, and B, repetitive and generalized to the point where they bend it and twist it later on and say, I was right. Yeah, it bugs me.
Well, I understand. It's like, sometimes in a reading I'll get part of it, but it's like a puzzle piece. I can't see the exact all of it, and sometimes it takes more than one reading to see it, and you can only tell people what you see. But I get what you're saying. So it's just, and some people like to do that. They like to do the predictions for for the world events on their webpage. I choose not to do that. I much rather just, look at each person's life, because my forte and my specialty is helping people through transitions, which I really love to do. And I love helping people really help themselves and grow. And that's something I really enjoy doing. Not that I don't love the environment. I really do. And, I actually do belong to Greenpeace, and, I'm all about the environment, but, in readings per se, I just don't, that's not something I forecast or look at.
Yeah. No, and I kind of didn't even mean that. I just kind of meant, do you have any, because the energy was kind of heavy in the world, in North America, and even the world in the 2016 and that, and you know what I mean? So I just was wondering if you had any. I'm optimistic for change, whatever a person's political views are. I'm so not going to go there. It's here for the States kind of thing. But like you said, for the world, I just think that there's a lot of changes coming out. I will tell you what I believe is that as a race, and as a world, I really feel like we're coming into a place of higher consciousness. And what do I mean by that? I do. I really do believe that. I do believe that, we're in the Aquarian age, if I'm saying that correctly, but we're in the Aquarian age, and so we're all coming into this place of higher consciousness. And I really feel like as a race and as human being race, we want change. And we want better. Not better in the sense that I need to have material, finer things, and there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things, but in a sense of peace, and a sense of people want things different, and I don't know how to explain it. They want better. They just want
So when we talked about on one of our shows, manifestation, I don't know if you remember one of the shows that, because you do so many, about what manifestation is. It's called higher vibration. When we come into this place called vortex, and you can look at Esther Hicks, because last time I was talking to you guys about consciousness, and I gave you guys what I would do for any of my clients. I give them homework. And what I would do is that Esther Hicks is on YouTube, and she's got a great video about the vortex. And the vortex, what happens is we get into a place of higher consciousness, we're raising our vibration. So, for example, and I've mentioned this before, that as Oprah had named her TV station Oxygen, I don't know why she named it this. This is something that I kind of thought of. Well, she had talked about in layman's term, as you go up the mountain, her oxygen got smaller and smaller and smaller. She was growing as a person. She was so excited for her friends to go with her, but all her friends started falling off the mountain, so to speak. Yes, that's true. But it is, I believe it's, but she had called it oxygen. Needless to say, as the oxygen got smaller and smaller, she started raising her vibration as she started growing. Because basically, her show, I mean, she does fabulous work. She was kind of on her own personal journey, and she was sharing it with the world. That's basically the way I saw it. And, I mean, she does great work. She has a lot. She offered, and gave so much to so many people. But we just kind of followed her spiritual journey on the way she was going, and she just was raising her vibration. And as you raise your vibration into this place, everything is energy. And so what happens is there's a thing called third dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. There's all these different dimensions. And I don't have the chart in front of me of all the dimensions. I've learned this 20 years ago. It's something I had walked away from, and now I'm going back to it. And what it is that this earth plane is called third dimension. It's a very dense place. So as we're raising our vibration, we shift into higher dimensions. And when we shift into higher dimensions, we attract energetically positive or different things in our vibration and our being. And so what happens is that, how do I explain it? When you come into a positive state, like attracts like. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when we're raising our vibration, I tell people this, and the personal development work that I do with people, a lot of people don't want to change. A lot of people want to stay where they're at. A lot of people are very comfortable where they're at, and there's nothing wrong with that. People can, they're welcome to do so. But one thing that's constant in life is change. That's one thing that's constant in life, is change. And so a lot of people are afraid of change because they're afraid of loss. And so what happens is that a lot of people don't want to grow. I was one of them. I will admit it. 20 years ago, when I started this work, I didn't want to grow as a person because I didn't want to lose everything that I had. And people are afraid of the unknown, or afraid of what's coming in, which could be better than what we ever imagined. But when you go in this place of losing everything and you go in that vortex, you sometimes feel like, oh my God, you feel empty-handed, so to speak, but then something better comes in. Something, I don't know how to explain it, something better, more than you could ever imagine come in. So I believe on a conscious level, or the whole world and a consciousness is wanting better, and this is why all these changes are happening in this world. I mean, this political upset that happened here in the States, which is very emotionally charged, incredibly emotionally charged.
Yeah.
And so it's not, that's why I don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
Many people are very, very strong in their belief systems of how they feel. And I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. I've seen a lot of elections. I've never seen an election like this one just recently happened.
Yeah, I know. It's a crazy thing. But it's not really, okay, I'm all on board with, of course, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. And I understand shifting energy, and as we shift energy, we can take ourselves from a sad or depressed state or this or that into feeling lighter and happier and all that. As to 3D, 5D, 12D, etc., is it your, I think we're, are we really, I hear there's people that talk about, our goal is to, is to change this into like 5D and then whatever. But I'm like, aren't we coming to 3D intentionally as our soul or our spirit? Aren't we intentionally coming to 3D because there's experiences that we can only have in 3D?
I would agree with that statement, yes. I don't know what other people's belief systems are, but I mean, if we believe in reincarnation, I would say, yeah, we have to be coming to 3D. And that's why we're here to have those experiences.
Yeah. So, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because otherwise, why bother? You know what I mean? We can be all that and a bag of chips on the other side and get movies for free. I'm kidding.
Exactly,
you know
exactly. So
yeah.
why did we come down here? Why would we come down here? So I had someone explain to me, and in layman terms, they're like, Hillary, think about it. We're spirits up there, and it's kind of like we're signing up for college. And we're sitting here going, I want to take this class, I want to take that class, and there's a prerequisite for this class, and we're like, we're okay with that. We're going to go ahead and take the prerequisite class, and then we're going to take the next one. And then we come down here in beings, we get into the human form, and we get into this college class, right? And we're like, I don't want to be here. I want to drop this class. And they're like, too bad, you can't drop it. You're going to get an F if you do. And you have to take this class to get to that class you really want to take. And that's how I explain it sometimes to my clients.
Well, right, and thank God it's our higher selves making those choices for us, because otherwise we'd get nowhere. You know what I mean? Really, is if our lower selves are making the choice of what kind of life am I going to step into if I choose to come back. Of course, I'm going to choose multi-billionaire, never have a sad moment, never have a skin knee, never, you know what I mean? And nothing but, corn sunshine and have a perfect body and have a perfect face and have everything and like that there's not a lot of growing that's gonna come from that life after life after life. I'm sure that there's things, because again we have to say that none of us knows what it's like to be in the skin or the shoes of any other person, even a billionaire. You know what I mean? And there could be tragedy and sadness and all kinds of things that, we don't have any idea about. And so we, I don't wish for anybody else's life, really. You know what I mean? I wish every now and then for some of their bank accounts, but you know what I mean? I don't wish
exactly.
that I could be somebody else, cause we don't, and then it's sort of like we see some people that are with flashy cars and nice houses. We don't see the stress they're under every day because they're so far in debt that it's consuming them emotionally. You know what I mean? And, and so people will only look and go, oh, look at that lucky family. Like there's inside there might be nothing but fights and all kinds of problems. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I'm all on board with the idea that, we're like, and that's how come, like, I keep saying it, but like, we need to have, every good story has to have an antagonist and a protagonist. You know what I mean? And, in our world, we need to have the antagonists. And so I think that the people that sign up for those roles, they're doing extra duty and getting extra credit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not an easy role to play. You know? Imagine coming, I'm going to be the most hated person and blah, 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 and, all this kind of stuff. And it can't be an easy role to choose. And so, we all can't, so that when we start talking about, and the reason I say that is because when we start talking about, higher vibrating, because sometimes there's this spiritual snobbery thing that goes on in these kind of communities, right? Like, I'm so highly vibrating that, only the highest vibrational beings communicate with me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm all like, we need, it's not bad. Like, I don't like this because it's like saying, well, you're a low vibrating, blah, blah, like as if that's less than or something. And I think that it's not unlike anything else, which is that we need it all for the wheel to turn, Right. And so, we have to kind of look at that. And in the moment when I'm angry at somebody or whatever, like I totally get that I'm totally, not crediting them for their extra credit, not thinking about it from that perspective. But when I'm speaking about it like we are right now, like I go, if everybody was high vibrational and all of this attracting good, there would be no lessons here for anyone. You know what I mean?
I agree. Absolutely. So I talk to people
I
in
think we're
readings.
taking turns. Our souls are taking turns in all of these different roles. It's like taking a part in a movie or a play or something,
Right. Yeah. Right. And then what's our, Barbara DeLong does great past life readings. I don't do past lives. It's not my specialty. But how interesting it is to find out what you were in a past life and to see if it carries to this past life, which, some people believe it does. I believe it does. And then, like you said, it's this ever continuing movie that we're playing where we were a different character, and then all of a sudden in this lifetime we're a different character than we were in a past lifetime. But I do agree with you. I mean, I've, even personally me, I've had challenges or a certain situation happen with somebody. It's an aha moment for me to grow. It's not just, oh, that person was this, that person was that, I'm frustrated, or, how can they be that way? It's also, let me look at, because I call that mirroring. The world is our mirror. So how do I grow from this? And what are my belief systems? Because what I believe is what I'm attracting, what I'm bringing in. So as you're looking at what's coming around you, it's also what you're bringing in. It doesn't mean that because this person was this way that you caused them to be that way, because they've got their stuff too. But at the same time, sometimes I've had clients call me up and say, oh my God, this situation happened, and they're in tears, or this situation happened, and me personally as well, certain situations would happen. And it can be a very upsetting situation, but as you rise and come through it, which is called transcending, obviously, is rising above it, is looking at what part did they play into it and what part did you play into it, or did I play into it? And as you said, we have to have that antagonist to have that aha moment to wake up and say, for us to take our responsibility, our personal responsibility in it, and what it is, our responsibility, and then growing from that and learning as a person and saying, wow, I don't think I'll do that again, or thank you for bringing that to my attention.
And I'm back to soul agreements and things like this, and some people I know, like, they would disagree with me, but it's I'm just had this idea in my head, like, as we were talking, it's like, imagine signing up to be a hockey player or a football player. You know what I mean? There's going to be glory, and then there's going to be rock solid hits that are going to shake your noodle and batter and bruise your body, and you're signing up for that,
Right.
And so that's kind of life. That's kind of like life. We're signing up to that, and so I think that when I'm able, I can sit back and take a step back, and I can go, okay, I probably have an agreement for that person to have done this to me. You know what I mean? And so what can I take from it and move forward, and be grateful for that experience on some level, not ecstatic if it's caused me hardship or pain, but it's like I said yesterday at the beginning of my New Year's Eve show, I just had this thing hit me yesterday morning, was to say how often we say arrivederci, get rid of that, I'm so glad that year's over, and what a crappy year that. And I was thinking, from this point forward, I'm going to actually start to be grateful for the year that I'm sending off and packaging up and putting away. Be grateful for it, because no matter the ups and the downs, there was some growth that came from it. And I think that if I honor it, rather than be disgusted by it and good riddance and glad you're gone, then I'm actually starting the next year with a better vibration. You know what I mean?
I agree. I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm done with the days of, at the end, I can't hardly wait for this shitty year to end. I'm going to be more like, wow, that was great. What did I get through? What have I overcome? You know what I mean? Because I overcame some stuff, right? And
right.
And so there's good news in that, and the good news is too, I don't have to do that year ever again. You know what I mean? And,
exactly. I've been there, done that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the all of it. But in the sense that what's so important is staying in the gratitude, because we have, you know, I feel like sometimes it's a challenge, and everyone has their own challenges. But staying in that gratitude, because as you stay in the gratitude, you stay in that vibration of attracting more. Because let's say, for example, if somebody's really in a bad mood and all of a sudden they're turning around and they're expressing how they feel and they're upset about this and they're upset about that, all they're going to continue getting is bad situations. And then if you walk in a room and all of a sudden you bring the room down, and like I said, and all you do is talk about more negative things, then the positive stuff starts going away in your life. But if you stay in the gratitude, and even though, like you said, even though I don't want to repeat those patterns, or I don't want to repeat that situation that happened, instead of saying, good riddance, I'm done, you're like, thank you, universe, for letting me have these opportunities to grow. Like you said, I don't have to go there and be there again, but it's to stay in the moment and in the vibration of gratitude, which is, I think, one of the hardest things to do. Is even though we may have been wronged, or we feel a certain way, or it was extremely painful, to come out of that, the bitterness, and come into that place of sweet and say, I'm thankful. Thank you. That was a really difficult thing for me to do.
Yeah, at least in my mind, I'm trying to be in a position of honoring my experience of that year, that experience that I've been through. And you know, I'm not always going to be thankful for everything, you know, but I'm going to honor it. And I think that for me is at least a good first step, you know.
Right. I agree.
And so I'm giving it a try, and I'm going to see how this year develops and what happens, because, you know, for as long as I can remember, I've been one of those people at the end, oh my God, I'm so glad that year's over, and man, it's been the worst year ever, oh my God, you know what I mean? And
right.
It seems almost everybody does that. And so, you know, I suppose if you won the lottery in December or something, you might think higher of the year that you just been through, but otherwise most people are like, oh, I can't wait, you know. So we'll see how it goes. And you know, already that shift happened in me. I, you know, consciously, you know, again, like it might seem stupid and a little stupid thing to people, but you know, for like me to actually shut everything down in my house and go up and sleep in my bed, you know what I mean? Like that's a huge, like I really can't remember a day last year that I slept in my bed. And I think in late summer in autumn I was starting to say, oh my God, I better go sleep in my bed, because I don't, you know, so I can say I slept in my bed at least one time. And then before I knew it, and I hadn't slept in my bed yet, you know.
Yeah. Right. Well, but it's part of self-care.
Right, and it's a conscious thing that I did, and you know, like, so we you know are the deciders of these things, and so anyway, we'll see what happens with it. And the beautiful thing about doing a radio show is everybody will be able to, you know, see firsthand whether it's going to make any difference in my life, you know, this change in attitude and that kind of thing. So, stay tuned, I guess, you know, and, we'll have to see what happens. So, now, did you have anything else you want to yak about? It looks like we only have about 3 callers, so far. So we do have
okay, I'd be happy to get to the readings. So since it's the first year, I have Dr. and I forget that I'm not on camera today, but that's okay. So I'm like showing it to you guys to the computer. I have Dr. Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention, the calendar to use year after year. And so I'm going to read January 1st. And so January 1st is the power of intention, is the power of love and receptivity. It asks nothing of anyone, it judges no one, and it encourages others to be free, to be themselves. And, basically that's what you're doing. You're doing that. And, you're sending your intent, and shifting the attitude of what is it that I want in my life? What's going to make me happy? And you may go forward and you may say, hey, that doesn't make me happy. I'll change it to, something else. But the fact is that you're engaging and you're living your life for you, because no one can live it for you but you. And I read another statement today, the other day, as I was doing my website, and I loved it. I don't have to prove my life. I just have to live it, by Daniel Berrigan. And he was a monk. So, as I was getting my website together and I was looking at all these things that kind of motivate me, it is about setting that intent. And I had said something to someone about, hey, I wanted to do abundance ceremony, so to speak. And, that person's like, well, I don't want to do New Year's resolution because those don't always come true. Well, part of it is not only setting the intent, but then having the consistency and to do it daily. I think that for me is something that I work on, because I'm really good at setting intent. It's the consistency and coming through, and doing it daily. And part of it is that, is really figuring out what's right for you. Because even though we call other people and we talk to other people, no one really knows what's right for us but us. I mean, a lot of people I have really great discernment for a lot of other people. But at the same time, ultimately, I always tell my clients, they're the ones who have free will, and they're the ones who are making the decisions for them. I'm just, giving them, intuitive insights and spiritual information that I was given, and which is usually pretty good. But again, ultimate, what's best for you. You want to sleep in your bed, and that's great.
Right, and it's good you said that, because listen, it might seem simple to you or I, and most of our listeners, but there's and I'm sure as a psychic, and certainly on Broken Talk Radio, that you have seen your share by now of these people that don't want to make the simplest decisions for themselves without asking some psychic. They don't even know the damn psychic. They're could be talking to some idiot that's, not psychic at all, and just playing one on the radio, and they're avoiding the responsibility of making decisions, and so it seems simple that we would say, I know what's best for me and this and that, but how many people have you heard in the past year that are asking you questions they really shouldn't have to be asking you?
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And part of that is coming back to self. And so I really, as I redid my website, really looked at what is my intent for the next year? What is it that I want for myself? And then how do I want to help others? And part of that, as you said, is part of the self-care. Even though you ask these people the questions, ultimately 100% responsibility for yourself. So what I did was I set up a philosophy. I really looked at, and something that I hadn't had on my website, and I had always said on Blog Talk, as you said, Broken Radio, on my website, go to my website for my philosophy. So what I do is I invite everyone to sit down this year for New Year's and say, what are my philosophies? What are my beliefs? What rings true for me? Because your beliefs are kind of like, not only, I've always talked about our conscious mind, but our core beliefs too, because it's about having your conscious mind and your core beliefs kind of match. Because once they match, you're going to get into that place of the vortex of what we say, Esther Hicks talks about, where things are going to start coming and attracting to you, and it's going to be just heaven. You're going to think about it, and it's just going to show up. And so coming back to what you were talking about, knowing what's best for you, I really sat down and did this exercise for myself the other day. And I'd be happy to share it with you guys. I always get, and someone had said to me the other day, and I thought, God, this is a really good saying. I always get to choose how to respond, therefore I am always free. Again, by the Berrigan brothers. It was actually my cousin. He came to visit, and he had mentioned that to me. So, may I share this with you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. So these are the philosophies that I sat down and looked at, you know, what's important to me. And so, again, I invite everyone to sit down and look at your philosophies and write them out, kind of like an exercise, so to speak, and or something fun that you would be doing. You're like doing a dream board. Self-care and loving yourself is not selfish. It is essential. Now, it's going to be different for everyone. I know that self-care and loving myself when I was younger, I felt that it was selfish. I really did. I always put everyone else before me. And even though I love helping people, I've come to the point where I have to love me and take care of me, which is what you're doing, Chris. You're turning around and saying, hey, maybe it is best for me to sleep in my bed. And let's see if that changes my attitude, because it's all about filling your cup. If you don't fill your cup, and then your cup doesn't run over and people are wanting things from you, that's where we get cranky and we get upset and people are pulling at us and we're like, can I just have a moment to breathe? But when we're filling our cup and doing things that are good for ourselves and creating our happiness, then we want to do things for other people, whether they ask us to or not, and we're happy to be in that space to give to others. Knowing who you are and what you want is vitally important. If you don't know, you will continue to live a life of ambiguity and confusion. We live in a responsive universe that is always giving us what we are focused upon, whether consciously or unconsciously. Again, that's the space of having your conscious mind and then your core belief systems, your superconscious mind being in alignment. Because a lot of times we're at odds with that, and then all of a sudden we're wanting this, and our words are saying we want something, but our actions are actually saying we want something else. We want something different, or we're not really doing what we're saying we want, if that makes sense. And or we have to release something that's holding us back. Awareness, also known as consciousness, is a key component to transformation in the healing process, which I really found to be true. And you can. If you have any comments on it, I'd love to hear it. We create our own reality through our core belief systems, and I really, truly believe that. I know that when I was 18 and I moved out of the house and said, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, not saying that I don't love my parents. I do. I really love my parents. But there's certain things that I'm like, I'm going to do it differently. And what did I do? I recreated the entire pattern of my childhood all over again. Yeah. I don't know about other people, but I know I've done it, and certain people that come to see me, it's the same as well. So the most important thing that you can do is to take 100% responsibility for your life experiences, ending blame in your life. And that's one of the things is when we stay in that consciousness or that state of unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction or unhappiness, all we're doing is attracting more unhappiness. I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. I'm not saying that at all. Absolutely feel your feelings. It's very important to have your feelings, because if we say these mantras in our head of, I'm going to be better, or I'm going to release that, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. If we don't feel those feelings, nothing shifts. That's kind of like the stick, the gear for the car, so to speak. Okay. The world is your mirror, which we talked about, and it's a reflection on what you're doing as well as what you believe, as we talked about. Real change and healing are possible when you see it, feel it, question it, and resource it. So again, you have to acknowledge it, you have to see it, you have to feel it, as we talked about. Questioning it is really kind of going, okay, this is how it served me before, and maybe it doesn't serve me anymore. And as you change your attitude toward it and look at it differently, then you can shift it, and then you resource it to how do you shift that. So let me explain that even a little bit further. So let me go and then we'll do our readings in just a minute. And then I've got one more. So I read this by Dr. Wayne Dyer in my wonderful thing that I was given here as a gift, which was the calendar for the year of Wayne Dyer sayings. Remember, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. Big, aha moment there. How you perceive the world is an extremely powerful tool that will allow you to fully bring in the power of intention in your life. And act as if you intend to manifest in life is already a reality. Again, act as if what you intend to manifest in life is already a reality. So for me, I thought that was really, really key, especially.
People take that one
Go
too
ahead.
far, and I say some people take that one a little too far, in my opinion, which is to say, if you want a Mercedes-Benz, then you're supposed to say, I have a Mercedes-Benz. Like, to me, it's not true. Or, I have this job. I have this executive job, and I already have it. And
well,
so it kind of dances along this, because if inside of me, I know that's not true. You know what I mean? Now, I get to visualize it and do all those things, but I got to stop personally, and it just maybe means that that's why everything will remain exclusive for me in this period. But good things have come to me without me in my life. Good things have come to me without me saying in advance of it, I have that. Now, there has been times when the last job there, the last long job that I had, when I got the email that was inviting me to an interview, the timestamp on it was 1:11 p.m. And I've had this thing with 1:11, for most of my life. And it was so the timestamp on the email was 1:11 p.m. inviting me to an interview in room W111 at this place. And I said then, I go, that I'm getting that job. I knew that I was going to get that job. I just knew it. But that was different than me, like, saying to you right now, I have a brand new furnace in my basement, a brand new fridge in my kitchen, a brand new car in my parking lot, and I have the $100,000 a year job. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree. And so I think we had talked about this once before is that, again, if you just, make those statements, again, I have a $100,000 a year job, is you don't feel the feelings of what that feels like. And that's why it's so important to come into that place of gratitude. Because if you can feel what it feels like to have $100,000, and if it feels good for you, that is the stick shift in the car to make that shift, to make that change. So, I agree. For a long time, I had a hard time with this. My spiritual teacher, and I'm so thankful to have her, her name was Erica Bronte, and I love her. And she's still with us. She told me this stuff before The Secret, the actual book, The Secret, came out. I didn't realize how she's just so profound in a spiritual way. Anyhow, she had told me about this, and I just looked at her going, what? Are you seriously? And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And she would tell me these things. You have to believe it like it's happening right now. But what I didn't understand and I had a really difficult time. This is about over 20 years ago. I had a difficult time with that. And so now I'm kind of in a better place. Am I still here, or did I get kicked out?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Because my screen, I got kicked out. So I realized what she was saying. I didn't get it for years, and I just thought, okay, she's really out there, and she's so just spiritually in tune and aligned, and just such a wealth of information. I was so fortunate to meet her and to have her as my mentor. But she was absolutely 100% right. And when The Secret came out, I'm like, oh my God, this is everything that my teacher taught me. And what she talks about, and I had such a hard time, like you said, going into the place of saying, I have a Mercedes, even though I don't have one, and I write it down if that's what I want. I thank you, universe, for the Mercedes that I have right now. But it's important to say that you have it in present tense, because if we keep saying, I'm going to get a Mercedes, you're not there. You haven't arrived. So what they're saying is you need to arrive and feel the feeling. It's like we're talking about a movie, right? So we're in the past. We've got to bring ourselves to that present tense. And instead of going to we want it, everything that we want, bring it to present tense, still future, because we're always running for it. We're always trying to grab it. I'm not saying that things can't come to you, and they have, obviously, without you putting that intent in or making that statement. Because sometimes we can make a statement and say, I want this, and then all of a sudden, a year later or 2 years later, it showed up, and you asked for this intent, and you forgot that you actually put it out there. That's why people say, be careful what you ask for, because you might actually really get it. So what happens is you have to feel those feelings. And once you feel those feelings and you put it in that present tense, how do I explain this? Then it will show up. Okay, you knew I was an athlete years ago. They've done studies, and they've talked about this in The Secret, that they've actually done studies, that they've looked at athletes, and this is what we were taught as an athletic person. I completely forgot about it. When Erica had told me about it, I said, yeah, whatever. And now I realize, oh my God, that's what I did when I was a kid. I would sit on a bench. We'd put the towel over our head. We'd sit there and look at our, imagine in our heads we're on the starting block. We'd watch the race. We'd jump into the water. We saw ourselves do the race, and we saw ourselves winning, and we felt the emotion and the feeling of winning that race. This is what our coaches taught us to do in swimming, to win. And that's exactly what The Secret talks about.
No, and, well, I hate The Secret, but, I'm with you all the way up until, and I used to do the same thing, which is visualize races and wins and everything else. I didn't win every race. I won a lot, but I didn't win every race. And but I still have to stop short of saying I won the gold medal. I won the gold medal in the Olympics.
Right. Well, and understandably so. I mean, I know what you're saying. There's certain things that we do ask for that we don't necessarily always get, but we may get something similar to, or we may, and that's why I tell people, they say, I want this man in my life, or I want this woman in my life, and they want a specific person. And what happens is that what they're asking for, and for that person, is not necessarily matching. So they may say, I want a guy who's monogamous, and I want a guy who's this and that, and who has this lovely energy, but the guy that they're really liking is not a monogamous guy. He's got a lot of things that person really is asked for, but if they ask for certain things but they're not too specific, that person will show up that will match it. And once that person shows up that will match it, then you can kind of turn around and get specific on what it is that you want, if that makes sense.
All right, well, listen, let's take a song break, and then we'll take these few callers, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're back, and let me find Hillary here. Hillary's back. Hi, Hillary. So,
hi.
So do you want to explain for anybody, I think I see a new person, unless maybe you know them, but just explain to people how you like to do your readings. Like, do you want a question, or do you have any preferences as to the callers should do?
I can do a general reading for that person, or if they want me to do a specific question, I can do a specific question as well. Depending on how many people you have. You said you have 3. Usually I always start my readings with a general question, because a lot of times I want to see what Spirit has to say, because I'm the conduit, and in the sense of there's always a message usually that Spirit is giving to them. And then I always do a past, present, and future for somebody, because then that tells me, I call it hitting or quitting it, so to speak. Meaning, am I hitting it? Or do I need to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not connecting to you? And then see, can I make that connection? Usually I do. I'm pretty good about it. But there's some people I haven't connected with. And, you just can't connect with every single person. And then I just go straight into the questions and stuff, whatever that person wants. And usually by the general reading, it kind of dictates it. But some people will show up and have specific questions they want to know.
And so a really interesting thing, because I've seen you operate on camera many times before as well, what I kind of like is, even when you're just functioning with your your claircog or clairvoyance or whatever, however you're receiving information, or through cards, you're oftentimes double checking your answers, verifying, validating your answers or your information with Pendulum as well. That's been very interesting as well to watch. So, okay, well, let's go get our first caller then.
Okay.
Hey, Jack, is that you, Jackie?
Hi, it is.
Happy New Year.
Hi, Jackie. How are you doing? Happy New
Year.
Good.
How are you guys?
Good. And I don't know if I don't know if some people just joined the show. So if you guys did, even though I'm happy to do readings here for you guys, if I'm doing this special that you get 30 minutes for $25, and that's really unheard of, because normally I'm $90 for a half hour. So everyone go check out my website, Ask Hillary Black. Again, I'd love to do readings for you guys here. I really do enjoy being here with Chris at Curious Times. And, you know, I tell all my spiritual friends about it. Hey, you got to call Chris, be on her show. It's a great show. And even Dr. Ida Green, she was one of my guests. I met her, and I love to share. So, anyhow.
Cool.
How are you doing?
Well, first of all, I want to say happy belated birthday to Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, happy belated birthday, yeah.
and my birthday's tomorrow. And thanks. And I actually did sign up for a reading from you tomorrow.
You did. I saw you on the phone, and I didn't know who that was. So, okay, great. All right. Well, perfect then.
Yeah. So I don't know, I don't want to take up too much time, but I just was wondering about my prospects for gainful employment that are going to be, that's a short commute from my house.
Okay, so I heard the word 20 minutes. I heard you don't want to go any farther out than 20 minutes. Ideally, you would like 5. Is that true?
Exactly. Ideally, I would love 5.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So show me her situation for a job and what kind of job that for gainful employment. And what is it that you do for a living?
Well, so I'm finishing up my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So I'm going to need a job as a therapist.
Okay. Is there anyone around you who's an engineer? Normally they don't come in like that, but they're telling me there's somebody around here that's an engineer for you, and I don't know who that person is.
A friend of mine, husband, is an engineer.
Interesting. So that person, because I feel like this is going to be networking, even though, again, you have a master's and obviously you want to get a job as a therapist, you know, there's a lot of requirements, regulations, and a lot of hoops that you jump through, understandably so, for many reasons. But I do feel like it's going to be, you're going to get the job word of mouth. And, you know, I have to go with what Spirit tells me. A lot of times years ago, I used to argue with them because I'm like, I'm not saying that. That's ridiculous. They're going to just think I'm just so weird, which I already am as it is already. So I have to go with what Spirit, I just do. So I have to do with what Spirit tells me. And they said the word E, and then they said engineering. So I'm like, that's why I asked what you did for a living, because I didn't think it was an engineer. And so certainly I don't know if they know any place that might be hiring. You know, I have a friend who works so-and-so, and they may be hiring here, because I get the lover's card here in the 8th position. And what I'm saying is that's connection, because that's an angel. There's an angel here, and it's connection to higher source, higher super conscious mind. And then there's the 2 of Wands. That has to do, 2 of Wands has to do with business, and it has to do with communication. So that tells me that you're going to find this job. They're telling me within 2 months. Ideally, 2 weeks is what they're saying. So when I get a number 2, it's either 2 weeks, 2 months. Certainly not 2 years. I don't see that. But it is around, it could be 2 days that you actually get a call for an interview. Is she going to get a call and interview? No, they say no, not in 2 days. I do feel that it will be 2 weeks. I do feel like you were really looking for a job, and then you stopped for a bit, and you took some time off. That's what they're telling me. And now you're going to start hitting the pavement again. Is that true?
Well, yeah, because I couldn't work because of my, and I can't really, I won't be done school till August. So, I mean, I won't have my degree, and then I have to do 2 years of supervision before I can get licensed. But, I was looking at part-time jobs just to for gas and grocery money.
Okay, so that's what you want right now. So you're not going to be finished until this August of 2017, and then you'll have 2 years of supervision, and then you'll be able to get a job.
Well, no, I hopefully will get a job after I graduate, but when I'm being a counselor, I'll have to have 2 years of supervision.
So you'll still get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, still getting paid. Yeah, because right now I'm doing internship and I'm not getting paid.
Okay. So you want to know if you're going to get a part-time job? They say yes.
No, a full-time job in August.
Oh, my dear, because we're in January, honey. I'm sorry. I'm looking at, are you going to get a job right now? So, okay. You want to know if you're going to get a job now, and you want to know if you're going to get a job in August. You want to know if you're going to get a part-time job now and then get a full-time job in August. Is that what you're asking?
No, because I have a part-time job.
Yeah, that's why they say no. Okay. All right. So, ultimate conclusion, fear taken out. Is she going to get a job here in August? Is she going to get a full-time job in August? Is she going to get it within a month of graduating? They say, even the way they say August, they said you'll get it within 2 months of graduating. So
awesome.
They say, yeah, that's what they say. Again, it's the number 2. It hasn't changed. So that's what I'm getting.
Awesome.
Now, these realities can shift and change. So I've had people, obviously call me for something that's far, that's 7 months or a year out. And some readers won't look at it that far out. Some readers will only do 3 months. Some will do 6. I'll look at it that far out with the caveat of letting people know realities shift and change all the time. So don't, be attached to the outcome. But certainly this is an aspiration or goal and something that you're working towards. So what they're showing me right now is that, 2 months. You'll get a job within 2 months of graduating. Will it be with the place I'm interning now? So let's look. Ultimate conclusion, fear taken out. They say no. So I feel like you're going to have another opportunity. So is she going to have one more opportunity? Is she going to have 2? So I feel like there's going to be 3 total opportunities, one that you're with now. And I feel like ideally, because it's so comfortable, you're going to want to stay there. But I feel like the new place that's coming is going to really hit a lot of the boxes that you're going to want. And that's why you're going to go over there. And it is going to be a really good feel energy-wise. Oh, good. Good. Because where I am now, I like it, but it's an hour away. And it's a little, it's too far. I hate the commute. No, I understand that. And that may be another reason why, obviously, the new place that you're getting may be 5 miles. That just flew out of my mouth because I meant to say 5 minutes. And things, when they fly out of my mouth, they mean something. It literally could be that close to your house. Things that fly out of my mouth sometimes do come true, just to let you know. When I'm not even thinking about it. It just flies out of my mouth. Okay, go ahead. Can you say $1 million? No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Then I wouldn't have to worry about a job. No, I would still do it. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to know? No, but I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow, though. Okay. Awesome. I'll talk to you then. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Happy New Year. Can I listen?
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I'm going to go now. I don't know because it only shows whoever is paying for the phone bill. So is there somebody who's Leonard is either the last or first name? I don't know. Who's this called? Hello?
This is me. Hello? You can call me Leo.
Hello. Leo. Hey, Leo.
Hi, Leo. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Are you just listening or were you calling for a reading or what? What's going on?
Yeah, calling for a reading, kind of go along line towards general, maybe more towards health a little bit, but whatever you got.
Okay, so interesting. I mean, they're showing me the Strength card, and the Strength card has a lion on it, and I don't know, did I lose you guys? No, we're here. Okay, because my screen's just doing crazy things. And so they're showing me the Strength card. The Strength card has a lion on it. And so what they're telling me is that you're trying to gain your strength, body, mind, and soul is what they're telling me. This isn't just a physical thing for you. This is also an emotional and on a etheric, spiritual level is what they're telling me as well. I don't have my book with me. Obviously, I always tell everybody go to the doctor. They're the ones who really can talk about your health and what's going on, and they're the ones who that's the appropriate place to be. But on a spiritual level, I can look at spiritually what necessarily may go on. So like Louise Hayes talks about lower back pains has to do with not feeling support. People have upper back pain is somebody who wants to be loved, that sort of thing. So what I get here is, again, the Strength card. So I feel like you've either really been tired lately or you're wanting to come into your own personal power and you're coming into a place of empowerment. I really feel like you went through a place, and, go ahead and stop me if this is true or not true, if I'm connecting, not connecting. What I do feel like is things have been happening, and you just, I don't want to say you've been going along for the ride, but things haven't been going the way you want them to go in the past. Is that true?
Yeah, there's been some of that. Some this last year had a lot of that with work.
Oh, so a lot of things happened with work, and that's interesting because right here I got the Queen of Pentacles, which is work, and then right there is the Four of Swords. So I feel like you've kind of been, they're showing me arrows being shot. So I feel like you've been trying to get out of the crossfire, so to speak. It's like you don't want to rot the boat is kind of what I see. But I feel like you're coming into a place to really make some decisions for you and coming, like I said, into that place of empowerment to live the life that you want to live. I feel like you've done a lot of things because you have a lot of responsibilities and because, sometimes I don't want to say you're a slave to the paycheck, but sometimes we get into a place that when we want to make a transition or a shift, it's difficult because we have a lot of responsibilities. And then we get to a place well, I have to do this because of A, B, and C, but am I really living the life that I really want to live? Am I happy? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I've over the years made a lot of changes getting me more towards where I am happy. And some of that has been with loss of financial.
Right. And so I feel like that was your challenge. You want to be in this place, but what you do financially provides. And so for you to make that transition, how do you make that transition into being in that happy place and financially being solvent at the same time?
Okay.
That's what they show me. So you're coming into a place of awareness, and I'm not saying that you weren't aware before, but you kind of went with the flow, did what you had to do, but now you're coming into that place where you're that lion and saying no more. I'm really coming into a place where I really, truly want to do what makes me happy, but I want to come into a place of strength financially, emotionally, in my spirituality, everything. You just want to have that strong foundation, and that's where you're going. And they're telling me that this is going to be the next 6 months. They're showing me concrete, and they're laying down concrete, and they're trying to, it's like in Florida, they used to lay down concrete. I never thought in Florida, because it doesn't, the weather's so good, concrete cracks a lot in Florida. You wouldn't think that. You would think that in Denver, Colorado, where I lived in Denver, Colorado, we have snow, we have all these things, and you would think when, concrete is laid, the foundation cracks easily. It's okay. You're laying down the foundation, and then you may have to lay it down again and again. And I don't want to say you're going to have these setbacks, but at the same time, I'm saying that things are going to be brought up to you where you say, oh, I didn't think about that. Let me go ahead and do that. And so it's just strengthening the foundation. I don't want you to look at it in a negative way and say, oh, my God, there's another crack in my foundation. Not at all. It's strengthening your foundation, okay? So it's a different way of looking at it.
Okay, like when you break a bone, when the bone mends, it's stronger in that spot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what they're showing me in a 6-month period. I get chills all over my body when I'm connecting, and they're telling me that you're going through a big shift. I really feel like you want to make a job change, and I really feel like, you're looking at a 5-year plan, and you're looking at retirement, down the road. Is it a 10-year thing for retirement? When are you looking at retirement?
Well, I don't think I can ever completely retire because I'd go insane.
Okay, well, but you may come to a place again, you're doing something that you're happy. Go ahead.
I want to be in a position where there's more flexibility as to, what I'm doing and when I'm doing it.
Right. We could really get into that if you wanted to call me off the air, and we could sit down and talk about that. I mean, that would probably, where are you at now? Where are you at now? What do I see? And then where are you going to go? Kind of thing. But that would take a lot longer than a couple of minutes. I can tell you that.
Not a problem.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Theo, thanks for calling. How did you find out about the show? From Facebook or?
I ran across it on Blog Talk.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Did you just get to the show now?
No,
I've heard it a few other times and a few other shows I've listened to.
Oh yeah, well she's here all the time. She's got great guests yeah, I do say I will say there's a big transition coming in for you, and the next 6 months are pretty important things for you on groundwork.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Leo. Have a good year. All right. I will, he said. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to find out who's in Florida, cell phone Florida. Hello, cell phone Florida.
Hi there, this is Cindy. How are you?
Hi, Cindy.
Good.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Now that I found your show, I'm trying to tune in and listen every night.
That's great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So do you have a question, or do you want just a general, or what? What would you?
Let me start with a general. What do I need to know?
Okay, so let's look, and this is Cindy, correct?
Yes.
Cindy.
Okay. Show me Cindy. What's going on with Miss Cindy?
Two more after.
Okay, two more. So Cindy, this is, of course, as I was saying before, they say some things, and I'd say, no, I'm not going to say it because it's so weird. And, it's not going to make sense, but everything they give me is Picasso, and we usually figure it out, or it comes to me spiritually. They told me this is the year of the cat. We know that's really not true. This isn't the year of the cat. I think in Chinese it's really the year of the monkey. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm pretty sure. So do you like cats, or does cats have any reference for you?
Not really. I have a cat, but I'm not really into cats. No, that doesn't really.
Well, but you do have a cat.
I have a cat, yeah, but.
Okay, so that's my way of connecting then, because I'll have someone. The person sat down, I looked at her, and I said, I see Superman. I have no idea why, or no, Spider-Man. I don't know why I'm seeing Spider-Man. And she looked at me and said, my grandson and I watched Spider-Man this morning. So it's Spirit's way of saying, hey, I'm connecting. So I saw a cat, and you have a cat. There you have it. So what I get is you're going through some healing period right now. They're also telling me you're coming to a place of great understanding. I really feel like some self-care for you has been put on hold. Have you thought about having your own business? Because you're definitely a person who doesn't like to be told what to do. You are a leader. Whether you choose to go into a leader position is a different story. And you started laughing when I said you're a person who doesn't like to be told what to do.
Yes, and actually I do have my own business, and
yeah, okay.
I'm
so
trying to add more services to pick that up.
Right, because I see your business is upside down right now. So there's the business card here. So that means I could see why you're adding more services to get your business growing. You're on the right track. I will say that, because the Two of Wands is here. If it was upside down, then I'd say you need to go back to the drawing board and kind of look at some things. But I do feel like whatever services you're looking at, because I do see you're frustrated, is going to be a good service that you're going to bring to them. I know that you're looking for some change. There's the Tower card right next to it, and then the Four of Pentacles, and then there's the Ace of Pentacles upside down. It is, I don't know if it's going to generate and bring the money in that it is what you want. What I do feel is that you're the kind of person who's a jack of all trade. Is that true? Are you there?
Yes.
Did we lose you? Yeah, I can hear you now. Are you a jack of all trades?
Yes, very much.
Okay, so what's important is, because you have so much talent, sometimes people, will only have one thing that they're interested in, focused on, or that's really what their talent is, and that's all it is. And so it's kind of an easy thing for them. But in a sense, when you're a jack of all trades, the problem is that I feel like you can be all over the board in some ways. It's like you can do this, you can jump and do that, and you can jump and do that. And, there's a lot of positives to that. But on the other side of it, you have to, I want you to focus on what you get joy and happiness in doing. Because if you're doing it for the money, and yes, do something that you have the joy and the happiness in doing it, and something that's going to bring the money in. Because then otherwise you're coming to a place that you're doing something, but your heart's not in it.
Right.
And then just have a little bit more focus and a sense of, okay, what is it that, my business builders, and I really love doing, and I love enjoying it, because what I get is it's going to give you some growth, but there's some time there, and then the Ace of Cups is upside down, and when I see the Ace of Cups upside down, you're not doing what you're happy doing. And I feel like you enjoy owning your own business. I mean, it's really a good fit. But here's the King and Queen of Wands, and then there's the Magician card. What does that mean? It's looking toward the future and coming into the place of empowerment for you. And so it's like not selling yourself short. I mean, I'm a business person too. I totally get it. It's like, bottom line, Hillary, the money's got to come in. I'll do whatever I have to do to get it in. I get that. But what it is that if you don't, it generates from within inside you. So if business is slowing down, what are the core issues inside of you that you may be holding it up? Does that make sense? And that I would have to do off air, because that's a little bit more than a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm trying to relocate. This area is just a very small area, small town, dead area, and I'm trying to, get out of a relationship, which kept me.
Okay, there it is. There's your issues right there. Okay, because I knew there were some issues holding it back.
I'm trying to rebuild, but I'm trying to relocate so I can get to a better area where I can be more financially stable as well as get out of it.
Right. So where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, so I really would, anywhere but here, I would really start doing some investigation about what makes your heart sing. What are the places? Do you want to go to a place where you have friends and family? Is it important for you to have a place that you have friends or family or both? If not, I want you to look at what's important to you. Everyone is different. Do you want to have a metropolitan feel? Do you want to have a place that is near the water? Do you want to have a place that has, some people are like, I'm not going to a place that's snow. I don't care. Forget it. It's not happening. Some places like, I'm not, some places like, I need to have snow. Those are things that you're going to have to look at that are important to you, as also looking, you can go look at the Chamber of Commerce, and you can go look online and just kind of see the population and some other things too, the demographics that are important to you. And you also have an online business. Is that true?
It's not really online, but I guess a lot of my customers are connected through social media, but I don't really do much online.
Okay. All right. Because would you consider putting your service online? I mean, not your service, but actually having a website and having them purchase online, like you have an online scheduler or something like that?
When I get out of the area, I'm really trying not to be found by my ex.
See, there's your challenges right there. We can talk off there.
I haven't really been putting it out there online.
Yeah. But I felt like there was some block. And so if you want to call me later, we can certainly sit down and talk about it. I have that special going on right now. This would be the best time. You can get a half hour at that $25. If not, you just, again, look at what's important to you in a place that you want to live, and where can you turn around and build that community by word of mouth to build your business.
Right, and that's pretty much how I've been working. So I'm kind of limited, but only because I'm trying to stay off the radar.
Stay off the grid.
He doesn't know where I'm at.
Yeah, you want to be off the grid. I got it. And but at the same time, as a business, that's tough.
So I have to be
staying
able to
off the grid and
right,
and to work.
So it's pretty much word of mouth right now, which I'm gaining new customers.
Well, do a referral policy or something like that. Right.
Pardon?
Yeah, do a referral policy, word of mouth, those sorts of things, if they refer you, I don't know what your business is, so we'd have to talk about that later, whatever your business is, if you wanted to share it, and then we could, we figure out what your referral policy is. But, I mean, that's some homework I would give you anyhow if you called me, is, figure out what area you want to live in, meaning for the criteria of what's important to you in your life.
Right. Well, I have some ideas.
Okay.
I've been looking in that area, and I'm trying to secure a place in that area. I just didn't want to stay over there.
No, I got it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say call me later if you want to call me later. So we could go over that. Right. And I just get a number 6. So it's either going to be, I don't believe it's 6 days. It could be 6 weeks. It could be 6 months, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's what I see right happening. And that makes sense why timing's not right now. So, it will turn around.
Nice. Was that 6 weeks for the move or for the business?
So is it 6 weeks for the move? Well, it's going to be 6 weeks after you move. After the move. So if you need to get that business going prior to the move, then you're going to have to make some shifts. Because I feel energetically from you, everything is on hold, and you don't want to create until you kind of get away or until you go. And so that's where you have the internal struggle within yourself.
Right.
You got to make some shifts within you to say, hey, it's okay for me to get the business, because I feel like you want to control that business to a certain extent, understandably so. And you're like, I'm okay with having this business, but it has to be in this type of container. And so do you see the ebb and flow of come here, go away, come here, go away?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why the energy is moving back and forth, and that's why I feel like there's been a little bit of inconsistency in the business. Is that true?
Yeah, it's been up and down. I mean, it was kind of steady for a while, and then it dropped off for the holidays, and starting to pick up a little bit, but not as much as it was. Which is understandable. It's the holidays.
Well, once you make some decisions and make some definitive decisions, and then it's like a faucet, and you turn the faucet on, you allow it to flow, and you make that energy shift, then it will come in. And you can make that shift prior to moving. It's just the internal shift that you're going to have to make within yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. All righty. Was I able to help, I hope?
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks,
evening.
Cindy.
You too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this one's going to be Yvette. Is that you? Is that you, Yvette?
Yep.
Hi, Yvette. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. And so do you want to do a general reading as well?
Please.
Or do you have a specific question? Okay.
General. Just go for it.
All right. So show me Yvette. What's going on with Yvette? So, Yvette, do you like animals? Because they just said you're an overall animal lover. They said cat, dog, horse, and then they just showed me this farm of animals. And I'm not saying that, obviously, that you, well, I don't know. That's what they showed me. You're just an animal lover. And you just, love is kind of like, how should I say? Love is what motivates you. It's what drives you. Is that true?
This is interesting because I actually like animals, but I don't have any animals because I'm kind of allergic to them. But there might be a theme here because I'm just throwing it out there. The other day I was driving home and I was on the highway using my GPS, and the GPS had me get off at Crazy Horse Exit.
Oh my God!
I remember that and then had me do a loop on going north on the freeway. I'm like, this is wrong. I know this. I know when I'm supposed to go, and I just did it. I went for it. I'm like, okay, no, I'm turning around. And then I went back the right direction. But I think it was all about, I don't know, metaphorically, a crazy horse. What is that? I know it means something.
Well, it's just Spirit's way of connecting and saying, hey, because how would I have known horse?
Right.
You know, you were there. Obviously, Spirit was there. I wouldn't know. So that's one's way of Spirit of connecting and saying, here you go. All right. So what I get here is energetically, I really feel like business is on the mind. I do feel that you have some concerns that your wishes, desires, and your dreams aren't going to come about the way that you want them to come. I feel right now, psychically, you're a little bit stuck. And is that true? Yeah. So that's what they're showing me. And what I get to is that I feel like you want to expand your group of friends. I feel like you're coming to a place of finding out what your truth is, what's important to you, and you're looking for some balance in your life as well as gaining that knowledge. You know, again, what's important to you and coming into your strength. And you have some lessons to learn I don't know what those lessons are. I would have to specifically look at them. But I feel like you're a very loyal person. But right now, because you're frustrated about you not getting what you want, and you don't want to make this, and I'm not telling you this, but this is what Spirit is saying, you don't want to make the same mistakes from the past.
Yes.
You're just not as motivated to move forward. You want to.
You're knowing.
You're headed. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. They're talking tonight.
God.
So I guess that was on, huh?
Yeah, so I want to fucking move forward. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's okay.
I mean, I'm taking this new level. I'm taking the 2017 to a whole new level, and I'm really like, I think, I always say it's going to be, my sister said, you always say it's going to be a good year. I go, but I don't always express what I want. Like, I want to, like, my desire is to have this and to focus on that,
Exactly. And I really feel that you're going to do that because, again, the Ten of Wands is here in the future. And what is the Ten of Wands? That's really gaining an understanding. And then the Hierophant is, what is your truth? Truth is different in the eye of the beholder. I mean, some people say, oh, my God, the only way to give a gift is a brand new gift. And some people say, I would never spend money on retail. I would always buy everything on sale. So where do and you could look at, every different item, every different thing in your life. But again, it's that contrast, or where is your belief? Are you in the middle? Are you on the left or on the right? It really doesn't matter. It's what you want. What is your happiness? What is true for you? So you're going to go through a lot of transformations this year, my dear. They showed me a lot of changes. Some people are going to be coming out of your life. Some people are going to be staying in your life and growing with you. And then you're going to have some new people coming in. But I really feel like you're going to do a 180. I want to say 360, in fact, but they showed me a 180 at first. That you're going in circles, and it's not a bad thing where you're going in circles and circles and chasing your own tail. That's not it. You're doing pirouettes. You're dancing. They're showing me you dancing, so you're very happy.
Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so this is what I see. So when you go through these changes and you're like, oh, my God, there's another change, you're going to know it. You're going to know these changes are coming up. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel these changes coming in because your intuition is going to start kicking in. Right now it's blocked, but your intuition is going to come in, and all of a sudden you're going to get this, I can feel it. I can feel it. Something's around the corner. And
that's what I just said to my friend. I just said that, and I'm like, am I freaking crazy?
No, you're not at all. I'm totally picking it up.
What?
I'm like, but that's
God, I got, like, right now, like, the well is so dry, but I feel something. God.
Right. That's your intuition. See, Spirit's talking. So that's your intuition, and I felt like you were going to say, I can feel it, and you know something's coming. That's your intuition, and something is coming. So you're going to feel those shifts in your body. You're going to feel those shifts. Go with it. Okay? So obviously, I'm telling you, I had no idea you had this conversation with this person. That's how it works. And, so there you go.
Is it all right to ask about a guy?
Sure. You can ask
Chris,
about a guy.
Okay? Chris, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. His name is Eben. And there is some chemistry between us. I wanted to know, I mean, I'm not saying there has to be a love connection, but I think that is.
What's his name? Evan?
E with the B. Eb.
Evan?
E-B-N.
Oh, Evan.
Yeah.
E-B-N. Okay, Evan. Okay. So show me Evan's feelings for Yvette. Okay, so show me Evan's feelings for Yvette. He seems like a really nice guy is what they show me. Interesting. He's not shy, but he's shy all at the same time.
Yes.
He's just not ready for a relationship right now. Mm-hmm. He's got the Four of Cups here, so he wants to get to know you as a person. Stability is very, very important to him.
Yep.
I will say that he did care for you in the past, meaning very attracted to you. Right now, he's not quite sure where this is going to go. He has a bit of frustration. He's not allowing it to grow. The Lover's card is here, but right next to it is the Five of Swords and frustration. He's not sure how well this will go between you two. Mm-hmm. He does feel that you're brought in his life for a lesson and for a reason, but the Knight of Pentacles is upside down, so he's really questioning what direction to go with this. He doesn't know.
I feel the same way. And why is it me or is it him? Is it just both of us that we're just like indecisive? Or it just seems interesting that there's a beautiful connection, but then it just seems like, I know he just got out of a relationship and he's focusing on, on creative stuff, but it's just an interesting kind of like how it went from feeling just organically bubbly, nothing forced.
Right. And it is, you do have great energy between each other. I'm really asking right now, what is it that he wants in his life? And I'm just with you out of the equation, okay? And what they're saying to me is he's not ready for a committed relationship. He knows if he got in a relationship with you, it would be a commitment. He's not ready.
Okay.
So, yeah, he could date. I see him dating. I'm not saying he's dating right now, but because the energy is so strong between you two, that you guys could easily go into a committed relationship, and that scares him. He's not ready for that. So if you keep it light and keep it friends, but you got to be true to yourself, because if you can't do that, then don't do it.
Right.
If you have to say, hey, look me up when you're ready, then that's what you have to do. If you're ready, if you're okay with just being his friend right now, because that's what he really needs.
Right. I can be his friend. I mean, we're not doing anything, so that's fine. I mean,
right. But sometimes people have such strong emotions for somebody that just being his friend and knowing he's dating other people or going out, it's tough. It's tough.
He's a kind human being. I would definitely love to be his friend. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I see. So that's what I see for you right now.
Is there anything I need to do while we're so I can catapult myself to the new level? Is there anything I need to do? Any homework?
Just do what makes you happy. Find yourself through this process. Because if you don't find yourself and do what makes you happy, it's not going to matter if you're with him or not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because then you won't be. You may not be with the right person.
Oh no, it's not about him.
And obviously, yeah, and I know it's not about him, but to catapult, obviously you being, because I know that you feel that it's obvious that he's in your life for a reason.
I want to know about me. I want to know about me, my goal, my progression to move to the next level in my life, not with him.
Okay. So hold on. I'm sorry.
Because I don't worry about a man. The man. I'm curious, but I'm not going to be waiting. I'm not worried about that.
So show me what Yvette's supposed to be doing to catapult her to the next level, and any homework that she needs to do here in her life and where she's at. So let's see what's going on here. Again, that's exactly what I said. And so the Magician card is the first card that came out. And that's the place of coming into a place of empowerment and knowing yourself and what's best for you, being committed to yourself, being consistent with yourself, putting yourself first and self-care. That's the Ace of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles has to do with looking at your finances. They're saying get your finances in order. Pull all three of your credit reports, sit down and, highlight everything, get a notebook, do whatever you need to do. Because, do you own a home yet?
No.
Because they're saying that you want to own a home, and they're saying that you want to.
Well, I literally said, I would like to have a family. I would like to have those things.
Yeah, and so I see that. I feel like you want to own a home in like 2 to 3 years, and so what they're saying is you're looking to balance some things in your life. That relationship will come, but the most important thing right now is, do you have a relationship with yourself?
Right.
Because as you have a relationship, which is what you're doing, and you're on path. But, getting your finances in order, really figuring out who you are and what it is that you want, so that when that right and perfect person for you comes in, and I don't believe anyone's right and perfect, but it's right and perfect moment for that moment, that kind of thing. It is perfect for us, so to speak. Then you're able to move forward and be able to be in that relationship that you want to be in. But you're on path. You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Wow, thank you. I'm going to listen to this one again, and I'm really excited.
Good. I'm so happy. Happy New Year.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you take
Thanks,
care.
Hillary.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
So now there's 2 more still. So there's Clyde. Hi, Clyde. Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Clyde, Popeye. Okay, I'm going to go to Carol.
Okay.
Carol.
Hi, Chris. Hold on, I'm going to plug in my thing.
Oh my God, you guys. I'm going to go back to Clyde. Are you there, Popeye? What? I don't understand. Okay, I give up, you guys. Someone tell me when they're ready. Push your one button when you're ready or unmute yourself. Okay? Whoever unmutes them.
Hello.
All right,
hello.
there you go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, Carol, do you have general questions today, or do you have a specific question?
No, I have general, honey. That's fine.
Okay, what would you like to know?
I don't know. Whatever you give me.
Okay, you said general. That's right. So show me what Miss Carol wants to know. So, Carol, you're definitely of spirit, very intuitive woman. And I don't know if I read what I did in the chat room, but I see angels around you. So just to let you know. But I feel like that you work in the realm already, is what they tell me. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they said. Are you a reader?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, because you are definitely intuitive, no doubt about it. High Priestess here in the future card is what I'm getting for you. So, I believe that you know tarot already. So the star card is upside down. For me, the star card is not necessarily getting what it is that you want. And I feel like there's some people around you that you're going to be having leave your life. And that is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords for me is also intellect. So it's really going into the intellect for you. And also the Queen of Cups is going into the intuition and, you know, kind of making some decisions on what it is that you want to do to make these shifts so that you can, because I feel like you're stuck. And I feel like, not in everything in your life, but there's certain things. So you're going to make that mental shift for yourself. Do you agree or no?
Yep.
Okay, because there's the Devil card right here in the 8th position, and that you know can mean so many different things in so many ways depending on where the cards lie. But I feel like you'll make this shift, and then there's the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is moving forward, which is the foundation in the 4th position. Death card's in the past. And that's obviously the transformation that you just went through. But I really feel like you're cataclysmically changing, and you've asked for this change to come about. You've asked for these changes to happen. Again, I got another 6 months. So they're telling me it's 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. That's how my numbers work. But I feel like this is a constant amount of change and growth for you. And so it's just they show me the super bullet. And, you know, the super bullet train. So you're coming through the super bullet train. You stop at a train station. So in 6 days, you're going to have something happen. And then you're going to grow some more in then 6 weeks and then 6 months. And right now, work is definitely on the mind. And are you full-time doing this? Because if not, you will be.
No, I'm not doing it full time.
Do you want to be? Because you could if you wanted to.
I can do it full time. I know I can do it full time. Yes.
Yeah. And I really feel like if you're not doing it full time right now, you will do it in a couple of years because you've toyed around with it, is what they've told me. Is that true?
Yes. My time's going to, I'm going to have, I see myself having more time to do what I want to do.
More time and I agree with that.
I already know it's coming.
Yeah, right. And you know it's coming. Because here is the Page of Pentacles upside down right now in the 9th position. 9th position's hope, desires, wishes. But what that is that it's just not the right timing right now, as you know. But it's coming. So what you're doing is laying that groundwork so that when that timing comes in, there's you'll be prepared for it. There's 3 of Swords is here, so it's on the 11th position, which tells me you've got some things to focus and prioritize on. There's some things that you're just see the 8 of Cups upside down is telling me that you're wading through carefully is what they're showing me, carefully. And I feel like you've had quite a bit of judgment around you, and that's why you're going to be releasing some people that aren't really working for you anymore. New relationships are coming in for you, some friendships, and you do work a full-time job, is that correct? Yeah, you can get a promotion at work too. Are you looking at one?
I was told that I've got to cut back. Like, I would like to cut back a little bit at work because I've been working my butt off.
Well, yeah, but they love you and they want you to be promoted. They love you and they want you to be promoted. So you'll have to decide which direction you're going to go with that.
I am. I'm weighing that in my mind too. There's a lot of things I'm weighing in my mind. But you are correct.
I can see that. Yeah, that's what they show me. Go ahead.
No, I'm just weighing things to think things through, which is the best route to go.
Right. So, best route in the sense of not take the promotion and the raise and kind of be where you're at, and then obviously, cut some hours back down to 32 hours or whatever, and kind of start growing what it is that you want to grow, or turn around and take the raise, take the job, make that money, stay for another 5 years, really start banking the money so that you can either, I really see you filling that 401k. I see you starting to pay off all the bills. I see you putting a lot of money away so that when you do this shift and this change, you'll have a chunk of change put away.
Right. My house will be paid off. That's what
they're showing me.
Right. And my house will be paid off in less than 5 years. In less than 5 years.
And I see you, okay, so what I'm going to tell you is I see you leaning toward taking the job because they showed me 5 years that you would leave this job. So if you take me, and that's exactly what they told me. So if you take this promotion, I see you staying in the job for 5 years, and you would be financially sound, like you said. And I wanted to say car. Car was just about to fly out of my mouth. Your car will be paid off. Your house will be paid off. You'll have a chunk of change in the bank. You will start your readings on the side or whatever it is that you do, because you do more than readings. You do healings and a lot of other things. And, and obviously you don't want me to talk about it on air, and I understand that. But there's other things that you do, and you'll build that practice so that when in 5 years, what you'll do is you'll make so much money doing the job, that really is where your heart lies. That money will supersede the money that you're making and work, and it won't be such a jump for you to go into it full time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that's what I see you doing. I see you taking it.
Well,
with the parameters of you finding the life balance for you, that you can do exactly what it is that you want to do, building the business on the side, but also making this money work for you and paying your house off, paying your cars off, paying off all your bills, and, stocking that money away in the 401k, and then obviously putting it in the bank.
Right.
And then building the business. As you build it on the side, your business will grow to the point where it will make as much or more than what you're doing in your paycheck, so that you can release this job in 5 years.
Right. Okay.
That's where I see you leaning towards. There's more than one outcome, but that's the one I see.
Right. Oh, I know there's more than one outcome, but that's why I've been weighing everything, and I've been paying very much attention to what the heck I'm doing, because I want to be debt, I don't want debt. I want to get rid of the debt, and I'm going forward. I'm telling you, I am going forward. Yes.
Yes, you are. I see you doing it. And you're going to make a lot of shifts in your life. I mean, you're really going to get laser about your time, who you spend your time with, what is it that you do, because you're going to be so busy,
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's why I haven't had a lot of time with my readings. It's not like I haven't had a lot of time, and I don't want to say, hey, I can do this at this time, or, because things. And I'm working on getting that straightened out too. So yeah, you're right. You're right on every aspect.
Thank you. You can go to Wix.com. You can go to other places too, and put a page up so that you can get the word of mouth. You can go to Cutie.com to do an online scheduler. Wix.com's got an in-house online scheduler. They can go in and book their appointment, and then you can hook it up to PayPal, so that way it can be your online secretary. So if you have a full-time job, yes, there's things that you still have to do on an administrative side, but not as much as having to be on the phone all the time. You get on the phone, you read your clients, and then you can balance your life elsewhere, you know, sort of thing. And so that's, I believe that's the groundwork that you're doing. And you can go to GoDaddy. There's many places that you can go, and you can look at some other online schedulers as well. And then that way they can capture the money at PayPal, and, you get that all set up.
All right.
And then do your readings and all the other stuff that you do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Carl. Okay. Popeye, are you ready or no? You just unmute yourself, okay, if you're ready. Yep. Hi, Popeye. All right. How's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good.
That's
Hello, Hillary, and thank you. Looks like we're going to be in a little overtime doing this, so thank you for staying the extra few minutes to talk with me.
No problem. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Well, I go by Popeye online, but my name is Clyde.
Okay, Clyde. All right. And so, Clyde, do you want to know? Do you want to do general, or do you want to just do questions?
Well, today is kind of a significant day in my personal history, and I just kind of wanted a general reading. And kind of see what information was coming towards me.
Okay. Okay, general reading for Mr. Clyde here. So, Clyde, I really feel like you've just been, concentrating on home. I don't feel like you've been going out a lot or doing a lot of things. I just really feel like you've been, staying at home and getting things done there. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So what I see here is that you're really trying to make some decisions on what it is that you want in your life. I feel a bit of frustration. I feel like you're really, there's some things that are being presented to you that you're trying to decide what is true about it and what is not. If you're married, I'm not getting that energy in that relationship. Are you married?
I am single. I'm a victim
so you are
of
single.
work.
You're a victim of work. So what they're telling me is that you would like to have a love relationship in the future, but also I think that you're kind of, I don't want to say set in your ways, but you're okay with living alone. So that if you were to have a relationship in your life, the most important thing in your life is balance, is what they're telling me. But I really feel that you are looking for a true connection. You're wanting somebody that you have chemistry with, and somebody that you definitely have a connection with, and somebody that you're attracted to on all levels, inside and out. That's what they're saying to me.
Yes, that is definitely true.
Okay. So I feel like, too, that in the past you've met a lot of people, but they've been more than friends than anything, and I really feel like you're ready for that romance. I really feel like a lot of this is timing, and there's some lessons here for you, and I really feel like you're finishing up those lessons, and that's they're saying that's why you have spent some time alone and not really had significant relationships in your life, because now it's coming to the place of those significant relationships. I do feel that you want to get married, but what they're telling me, it's married to the right person. Is that true?
Well, I don't know if married is quite right.
Well, they're telling me a significant other, because, again, Four of Wands was upside down. Again, as I said in the beginning, you don't necessarily have to live with somebody, nor do you want to live with someone right away. You're okay with just dating. And she would have to be, and as I said, I don't want to say that you're set in your ways, but you're totally fine living on your own. Is that correct? That's what I said, I believe, before.
Oh, yes, that is completely correct.
Right.
I do have one person in my life right now who is the subject of questions.
Do you want me to look at that person for you?
Well, yes, if you would. I have recently mended a few fences, but we haven't really built a bridge yet.
Okay, so are you guys speaking to each other right now?
Yes.
Woman that he's interested in. Show me this woman that he's interested in. What are her feelings for him? She seems like a lovely woman. Pardon?
I asked, do you need a name?
If you want to give it to me, it's helpful, but if not, I can still get it. I will say that this person is the problem is right now she's put you in the friend zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I get. So the relationship with card is upside down. What?
I say, which is lover's hell.
Yeah, lover's hell for sure. I totally understand. So she's struggling. She doesn't know what to do about this, because there's the Five of Wands, She really thinks, excuse me, that you are a great guy. She's just not sure about, and she's committed to you as a friend. But the Two of Wands is upside down, and anytime I see a Two of Wands, if that card does not flip around, nothing's going to happen. I have to tell you the truth when I see that, because I've seen the cards flip before, but at the same time, if they don't flip, it's just not going to happen. So show me what the Two of Wands is upside down. So right now there's a block. And until that block gets fixed or shifts, you're going to stay in the friend zone. Ah, man.
Okay, once in the friend zone, always in the friend zone. That's the rules.
Well, it's not necessarily the rule, Clyde. I mean, I agree to a certain extent, once in the friend zone, all the way to the friend zone. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to shift that attitude. And I don't mean to say it that way. It's frustrating. This is what I talked about earlier today, and I get it, because sometimes we have this connection with this person and this intense, bond with this person, but the problem is they don't want what we want. And what happens is that doesn't mean that you're not going to get what you want, because then we get frustrated and we say, well, God, everyone gets theirs and I don't get mine. What's the point and why should I try? Once we're in the friend zone, we're always in the friend zone, so we're afraid to even get in the friend zone. The thing is that any relationship, any basis of a relationship is friendship, so it's very important, and it can grow from friendship, but for some reason you're kind of stuck there, and that's where you're at. So what I want you to do is I want you to, it's the new year, write down on a piece of paper, you can get magazine, whatever you want to do, put it on a bulletin board or a board, and you may think that this is ridiculous, but it truly does work. I want you to put on a bulletin board or whatever what kind of woman you want, all the characteristics of a woman. And if she could shift and change to this, and she can come closer to you, and if she doesn't, another person will come to you. It may not be this person that you want, which could be very frustrating, but she may not match all the qualities that you want. Even though right now, the way you look at her, she matches this and she matches that, but she may not match everything that you want. She may not be your best match. Although you may feel that she is, the problem is that she does have free will and she has choice. And right now she's choosing to be friends only. Because when I flipped the cards and said, what is the block? The Wheel of Fortune is here, which is a good card, but the Three of Cups is upside down. She's made a conscious choice to say no. And then there is the Friendship card, and then the Lover's card is upside down. So she does care for you. She has feelings for you, but only as a friend. And she does consider you as somebody in her inner circle. She really trusts you. She really does. But what?
I say she is my high priestess in my coven, so.
Yeah, there you go. She's your high priestess. So there's the Three of Pentacles upside down. She's looked at what would you be like in the future and how well would you guys work together, and that's her concern. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're not at all. She really does respect you. She thinks you're a great guy, and she wants to keep you in. And she feels the connection that you feel. I mean, she does feel the energy and the bond that you guys have. It's not that she doesn't feel that, but she doesn't feel it the way you feel it. So what I'm suggesting is that you write down what you want from a woman, and then what happens is then that you will call out to the universe that this is what you want, and then you will bring it to the person, kind of like Love Potion number 9. Have you seen that movie?
Manifesting, yes.
Yeah, so you're going to manifest that. I have a client who I went to do a clearing ceremony. I went and did a house blessing clearing ceremony, and then I went to do the abundance. When we went to do the abundance, she had to schedule on me three times. She rescheduled on me 3 times, and I was about to say, what's going on? She called me up, and she realized she had been in this relationship for many, many years, and realized when she was going to do the abundance ceremony that she wanted more than what the relationship was at that moment. And she didn't want to do the abundance ceremony without him being present and being a part of. And she had decided that if she's going to go to the next level, she wanted him to be a part of it. And if he wasn't going to be a part of it, she was going to make that transition and let him go. And even though her head said that, her heart was really in pain. And so she turned around and she really got clear with her intent and put out there that she wanted to go to that next step. She wanted to buy a house. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have all these things. And instead of, putting out there it had to be him, she just said, this is what I want, universe, and if he's not willing to be a part of it, or, she says, I want to do it with him, and if not him, I'm willing to do it by myself and let the right person come in. Well, guess what? They went to a function, and then all of a sudden he started introducing everyone to her as, he did some things that really showed her that he was committed. And then he started talking about their future. And so he started coming closer to her. So does that make sense, how she manifested that?
Yes, it makes sense. My read on this thing, and thank you, by the way, for using the tarot. It's my favorite medium for divination.
You're welcome.
My reading is, from what you've said and from what I know, that it is afraid of her own feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is making her act the way she is.
And I don't doubt that for a moment. Absolutely. The problem is you have to make a decision. How long are you going to wait for her? And you obviously care for this woman and want to be with her. But at the same time, if she doesn't make that shift and change within herself to allow herself to go to the next level with you and experience those feelings with you, which is something you may want to communicate with her, you may not want to, that's your choice, which way you choose to go. Those are some decisions you're going to have to make. And you can still put out to the universe, I want a woman, this is what I want. I want abundance. I want to get married. You don't want to get married, but let's say you want to have a life partner. However you want it to look like. You may want to have a life partner who lives in a separate house than you. And that's okay too. There's no right or wrong in any type of relationship, So, so you can say, I want to.
I have your answer. You asked how long, I have your answer.
How long?
100 years.
100 years.
That's how long.
But here's what I'm going to say to you. She's not cheating, right? Because you're not in a relationship. Somebody had said to me one time, if somebody cheats, then basically you're cheating yourself. And she's not cheating because you're not in a relationship. Let's say let's say she shows up as a friend, but she's not giving you fully what it is that you're wanting. Are you cheating yourself by not allowing yourself to have it?
Oh.
Okay, then there's your choice.
The thing is this. If all these friends take 100 years, if we become more than friends, I will wait 100 years. No matter which happens, I will be thankful and grateful to have her in my life.
And I understand that, absolutely, especially since you guys have such a strong bond and such a strong friendship. What I'm saying is you just may want to open the door and leave the door open for someone else to come in while you're still waiting for her, so that you're showing up for you. Does that make sense?
Well, I won't close the door to another possibility.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't close the door to another possibility.
And I appreciate your insights. Now I would like to ask you to take a slightly different approach and tack and kind of change subjects on you. And I want to ask you if there is anyone on the other side, particularly maybe a person in my family, who has a message for me.
So I did read, Popeye, that it was your father had passed away 15 years ago. Is that correct?
Well, that's correct, but there's been other passings as well.
Okay, so let's see if there's somebody else that will connect. See who it may be. So show me. Normally the way I work is if you want to connect with a certain person, I'll look at that person, and sometimes that person will show up or another relative will jump in and say, no, you got to talk to me first. So do you want can you give me a specific person that you want to talk to, or you want to see if someone's going to, let's see who will show up first. Show me who's going to show up.
I would like to see if my father would show up, and if he doesn't, maybe his sister will.
Show me if my father will show.
We'll try this quick.
Okay, and right after this, then we'll be done, Clyde. And I don't know if your dad's going to come through, but let me see what I've got here. What's your father's name?
William.
Oh, okay, William.
He goes
by
by Bill.
Okay. So did your father have quite a bit of sense of humor?
Oh, he's got his own form of humor, yes.
Yeah, because what they showed me is, what I heard is when he said Bill, they showed me Mr. Bill with SNL, Saturday Night Live. That's what they showed me. So what I get here is the Ace of Cups. Obviously, your father loves you very much. I get the Six of Swords. There's some movement coming in for you, and he's going to be there, and he's going to be guiding you this whole next year is what they told me. Lots of changes coming for you. I don't know if you're actually moving, but and your father's saying he is going to be here for you during these changes and movement. He also, I don't know if he used to call you son, but he's saying, son, he's saying he's proud of you. The man that you have become and the man that you're going to be. That's the message. Lots of changes on the horizon for you, and you're going to be doing a lot of growth, and he's going to be here with you. That's what he tells me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Hillary. Thank you for staying a little overtime. I very much appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, and you have a good evening.
You too, and I wish you a very happy and a prosperous 2017.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right, Hillary. So you got the special going on, $25 for a half an hour. Get it quick, you guys, if you're gonna. Don't hem and haw about it. And you're back next with us a month from now, eh?
Yeah. In fact, my radio show has been off for December, and it will be off in January, and I start my radio show Tuesday, February 7th, which I will be with you guys on February 5th. So I see you guys again February 5th, and then my show will start back up again February 7th.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks. It's been good to catch up with you, and so I'll have a great 2017.
You too. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Take care. Thank you very much.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, and you guys go to www.askhillaryblack.com for more information on the special and other information about Hillary. And you can also find her on Facebook at Ask Hillary Black. So facebook.com/AskHillaryBlack. So now I don't know if you guys are doing overtime or what's going on. So I'm going to play a song, and then I'm going to see if anybody's coming on or if we're going to wrap it. And so I'll play a song, and then we'll come back and revisit that situation. And let's just see here. What do we got? Here, let's do this. No, let's not do that. Oh, I like this song. All right. So who's here? Unmute your damn selves. Nobody?
Okay.
No, once, going twice, going 3 times. See you guys.
Listen, bitch.
Don't start getting lippy with me already on the 1st of January. You know what I mean?
Chris, I just have to tell you, I had so much fun last night.
It's only because Renee was here, right?
No.
No, it's like that was the best party I've ever gone to in my life.
Oh, last night? Oh, yeah. It was a riot. I was supposed to go out.
You had your clothes on? That couldn't have been too good a party.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time had by all.
Dennis was bugging me last night and today.
Oh, God. Oh, we're still recording, so hang on. Hold on there, Roy.
Quit the recording.
Hold on there, Roy. I got 5 listeners. Thank you for tuning tuning in, and we would love to see you here live with us, in which case you could hear all of the shenanigans going on in overtime when we're not recording. Tomorrow, Diana Monroe is here, and so for tonight, thank you very much.